I'm Elizabeth with Oliver Smith Jeweler. I'm here today with Skylar, and we're talking about Panerai's announcements today on the first day of Watches and Wonders 2021. This week, Panerai is going to be talking about all their new product released this year, but today they start out with their initiative, which is the Year of Sustainability.
Yeah, and their catchphrase for that in the marketing materials we first saw prior to Watches and Wonders is that there is no planet B. And
which is catchy.
It is. It's catchy.
I like it. You said you've heard it before.
I can't quite place where I've heard it before, but I've heard it before.
Okay.
And so with that, they're focusing a lot on the oceans. And, we'll talk a little bit more about the partnerships that they're going to be working with this year, and as well as the watches and how they're incorporating their goals into producing watches that are more sustainable. But big thing they announced today was the ELab-iD Luminor submersible, which is a watch that is almost 100% recycled material. The dial, the movement, the case, the bracelet, the hands, all those things are, have some recycled component in there. And
which is really impressive. I mean, if you think about having a watch that's 100% recyclable, this Lab-iD, or it's the ELab-iD, which was the first watch they announced today. We've seen some Lab-iDs done before. Most recently, we saw the Philips auction, December 2020. We saw two Lab-iDs come through. The first one ever released was a carbon that went for almost 19,000.
Oh, 90, almost
90,000. 90,000, yeah, it was way, that's not right. 90,000, and they come with a 70-year warranty, or they have before. But this watch they've announced is 98% recycled materials, which amazing for the case, straps we've been seeing, even the packaging is recyclable. What impressed me the most is the movement.
The hairspring even is like recycled silicone, and it's really amazing to break it down by the parts that are in there and actually think, oh wow, those are using recycled materials.
Yeah, I thought that was very impressive, and it is worth noting the Lab-iD, there's only going to be 30 of them made, so good luck getting one. If you see one or you get one, show us. We'd love to see it. And we don't know retail yet or when it's going to be released. The other thing I thought interesting about this whole sustainability push is Panerai mentioned that they have been partnering with their ambassador, Mike Horn, for 20 years, which is a long time.
Who knew it had been that long?
I didn't either. And they've done some really cool special editions with them. Look up Mike Horn. He's this amazing explorer. He's been all over the globe and advocates a lot for cleanliness, the oceans, and taking care of our planet. So we haven't seen any pieces announced in partnership with Mike Horn, but I could predict, I would guess that there's some coming down the line, especially in this year of sustainability.
So the submersible we mentioned is kind of the headlining achievement, the crown jewel of this initiative, but they are bringing these recycled principles to the more attainable line in the shape of a few Luminors, right?
Yeah, and this is a Luminor style we love. It plays off of the PAM01225, which we always say is probably the best Panerai as far as what it contains and what it provides for you. So the two new Luminors announced are a PAM1157 and a 1358. They're both 44 millimeter Luminors, and they're made of eSteel, this recycled steel. And what I found most impressive about this recycled steel is that Panerai says it lives up to the same criteria and qualifications that they use in their non-recycled steel, if that's what you call it, which is amazing. You're still getting a great quality, but it's, better for the planet.
Yeah, it's, using less material that is drawn from the ground. It's producing less carbon dioxide in the, all those emissions and things that are really bad for our atmosphere. And it's a really handsome watch.
So the 1157 has a blue gradient dial with white luminescence. The gradient dial is very much giving me ocean diving vibes, kind of that plain
appropriately so.
Blue to black, yeah, they thought about that. And white lume, blue and white to me is very nautical, very kind of fun watch. And then the 1358 is a gray gradient dial.
Also very handsome. And the specs on these watches is like 60% recycled material as opposed to the 98.6% of the submersible, which is still really amazing. And especially, we don't know the price yet, but it's not going to be the same as the submersible. It's going to be quite a bit less, a little more attainable. And so that's really nice to see.
And I think it's worth noting on these as well, and I'll be interested to see if this carries through all Panerais this year, all the packaging is recycled as well.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah, it's great. So make sure to subscribe and follow along. We're going to be doing more videos like this throughout the week, following Watches and Wonders and Panerai and multiple brands that are there. And let us know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching.